What if there was a land where even war had rules, where kings followed ethics even in battle? Let's see more. I'll give the answer at the end of this video.
Everything is fair in love and war, but not in this land. Here they followed ethical codes and humanistic values. Even during war, war was not merely a means of conquest. It was justified primarily for protection of the land, the people, and especially the cattle, which were vital economic assets. Kings went to war to protect their subjects, not for wanton destruction.
A defining feature of this land's war ethics was the explicit protection of non-combatants. Certain groups were strictly off-limits during the war: women, children, the elderly, the sick and infirm, priests and scholars. Harming these groups was considered dishonorable and was strictly avoided. This reflected a deep sense of humanism and virtue in the conduct of war.
Wars were not waged in the dead of night. They followed rituals of declaration and conduct. Wars were formally declared, often by beating drums in the enemy's territory, giving advance warning and allowing the opponent to prepare defenses. This practice aimed to prevent surprise attacks and unnecessary suffering. Often the first act of war wasn't a sword swing but a cattle raid. The king would take control of cows of the other king's land, compelling the other king to go into war with them.
There were also rules of engagement and chivalry. Warriors were expected to fight only with equals. For example, injured warriors would wear special garlands and would only fight an enemy who wore a similar garland. This showed respect for valor and refrained from attacking the defenseless. Before going to battle, kings and warriors adorned specific garlands made from flowers like palm, neem, and tumpai. These garlands signified valor and readiness for war. War was often begun with loud exultations and battle cries, and dying warriors were honored by placing pieces of gold in their mouths.
The weapons used in war included swords, spears, lances, bows and arrows, and the martial art called silambam, which is traditional martial art, which uses bamboo stick as main weapon, and traditional wrestling called malutham. Armored war elephants played a crucial role in battles, often leading charges and breaking enemy lines. Horses were used too, and in some battles, only the animals, horses and elephants engaged, while the warriors held back, showing the grand scale and spectacle of animals fighting for their land.
Kings celebrated their victory by hoisting umbrellas, symbols of protection, and planting swords in the conquered land. Victory was celebrated by collecting sacred water from conquered lands, like the Ganga, and building monumental temples to commemorate conquests, reinforcing both religious and political legitimacy. Brihadiswara Temple was built on the Chola king's victory over Chera and Pandya kingdoms. Check out the link for more interesting facts about Brihadiswara Temple.
So if you haven't got it yet, this is the way the Tamil kings and queens defended their realm, safeguarding the land, its people, and their cultural identity.